Hey guys, so this is kind of an impromptu video that I've been trying to decide whether or not I was going to do it or not. I've kind of been debating for the last couple of months whether or not I wanted to make this video, and I decided that it was important enough to share with other people because I thought maybe some of my other subscribers and viewers might be going through the same thing. So I just kind of wanted to share about some of the struggles I've been kind of dealing with for a while now. I've been really struggling with the health of my hair. And for those of you who have been following my blog and my YouTube channel for a while now, you should know that I have very fine hair. I mean very fine hair. Like my individual strands are like whisper thin. Now I do have high density in terms of I have lots of strands on my head, which kind of helps to mask the fact slightly, at least visually, that I have fine hair. But when you look at one of my shed hairs and stretch it out and look at it, it's very thin. And on top of that, I have low porosity hair. And so all those kind of factors combined have been a huge struggle in and of itself. Because of my fine hair, my hair tends to be super fragile, very susceptible to hair breakage and to a lot of other hair issues, we can call them, such as split ends, things of that nature. And because of my low porosity hair, it makes it, quite frankly, sometimes I feel like it's impossible for me to moisturize my hair or to maintain the moisture level properly. So it's just been a huge struggle trying to figure out this hair. And then on top of that, I have 3 different hair textures, which further complicates it, because sometimes a product that my 4A or 4B hair likes, my 3C hair will just be like, don't like that, or vice versa. My type 3 hair will be like, oh, that's cool, like I have a small patch of 3C, and it'll be like, oh yeah, that's great, and the rest of my hair will be like, I don't know what you're thinking, but that's just not gonna fly. So I mean, trying to get my fine hair and my high density strands and my low porosity hair to mesh well with all 3 different hair textures and to respond in an identical way that's easy to come with a hair regimen, sometimes it just feels impossible. So I kind of just want to address the fact that, hey, if you have fine hair and low porosity hair, and if you have fine hair, low porosity hair, and low density hair, I know you are really struggling, because if I'm struggling and you have all those things plus low density, I get it, and I think a lot of people who have super thick hair that's also high density and that's also high porosity, they just don't get it. They're just like, what's the problem? Just get a good quality moisturizer. Well, even when I use high-end products, doesn't necessarily mean that my hair is going to be super moisturized. Even if I use a product that says moisturizing, doesn't mean that my hair is going to respond well to that because of all the different factors that I've talked about. So that's kind of something to really come to grips with, and something that I'm kind of on the journey to try to, learn to accept. And it's hard. I mean, it's been very hard. It's been a huge struggle. Trying to figure this out, trying to come up with a regimen that actually works and works all the time, that's consistent, has been really difficult. I want to discuss what I guess I would call hair lifestyle, because there are a lot of factors that can affect your hair, the health of your hair, and your hair growth and hair maintenance, things like that. And before some of you come at me with your pitchforks, let me talk about it, okay? This is what I mean when I say the struggle is real. I eat lots of veggies, lots of fruit, drink plenty of water. I eat clean, I would say probably 90 to 95% of the time. Don't eat junk food, I rarely eat junk food. I try to, because I have diabetes on both sides of my family, I really try to moderate my sugar intake. So I have pretty much no added sugar in my diet. I use all natural sweeteners, no artificial sweeteners, things like that. So I eat pretty healthy. Try to get in lots of lean protein. So in terms of what I eat very well in terms of the health of the food that I'm consuming. Now I also exercise. I typically exercise 6 days a week for 45 minutes to 60 minutes a day. So I'm also, doing, I think, slightly above average than a typical person. I exercise for the most part 6 days a week. Every once in a while it might be 5 days a week, but 90% of the time is 6 days a week. I also have limited my hair usage. I actually got to the point where initially when I first went natural, I used heat on my hair twice a year. And then I kind of was like, what's the point? Once I moved to a very high humidity area, I realized maybe I should do once a year. And then I was like, maybe not at all. I think it's been over a year since I've used heat on my hair at all. I think over a year. I've been deep conditioning my hair for the most part once a week. Obviously there's been a couple of months where I might skip a week or life happens or get too busy and I forget or just don't have the time. But for the most part, I deep condition my hair once a week. And so on the whole, I've been doing pretty much everything right. So what's the problem? I know some of you are probably wondering. So if you're doing all of that, what's your deal? So I found out that I have a vitamin deficiency, and initially I had no clue what was going on. And for those of you who have really been struggling with your hair care or your hair regimen, I think it's important to make sure that you're investigating the why behind some of the symptoms that you're experiencing. And when I say the why behind the symptoms, what I mean is, for the longest time, I was experiencing hair shedding, hair breakage, brittle nails, nails that break easily. I was tired all of the time, and I don't just mean fatigue, I mean tired to the point where I would intentionally go to bed early, sometimes as early as 7 p.m., wake up 9 to 10 hours later and still feel completely exhausted. Just felt like my body was just completely depleted of energy, depleted of the ability to almost function. And I couldn't understand what was going on. I just did not understand it. I was eating healthy, exercising, drinking water, consuming all of the right things, doing all of the right things, and still felt horrible. I found out that I had an iron deficiency and B vitamin deficiency. So I now take biotin. I've always kind of taken biotin on and off because even when I was in like elementary school, middle school, I always had really thin, fine nails. So, for the most part, I think I'm just genetically prone to being B vitamin deficient because my mom also has that issue. So I think, honestly, in my case, I think it's genetic. So I do take biotin, and I've continued to take that consistently for quite a while now. Then I also have now started to take iron, and within a month it was almost a complete turnaround. Within 2 weeks my fatigue went away. Noticeably. Within 2 weeks I actually started getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and when I woke up in the morning I actually felt refreshed and rejuvenated. It was a noticeable difference. Within 2 weeks, I actually felt like, I'm not completely exhausted all of the time. So my fatigue went away. And I noticed that my hair, it still sheds, but doesn't shed quite as much. Now, if you have iron deficiency, your symptoms can be, mild to quite severe. Like I said, it can be anything from hair shedding. You may even experience hair loss and not just hair breakage. Brittle nails, shortness of breath. You might get infections a lot, really frequent infections. And in some severe cases, you might even suffer from pica, which is a sort of craving for non-food items, things like chalk or, things like that. Like you crave really weird things. So I was really blessed that I didn't have completely severe symptoms, but it was severe enough for it to affect my functionality throughout the day, for it to affect my energy level and the way that I felt and the way that I was able to carry throughout the day. I mean, there were some days where I woke up exhausted, was exhausted all day, and went to bed exhausted. The next day, woke up exhausted, was exhausted all day, went to bed exhausted. And that's no way to live. So again, my personal symptoms that I experienced was excessive shedding, hair breakage. My nails were very brittle. They broke easily and broke frequently. Extreme fatigue. And again, I'm not just talking about, oh, you had a hard day and you're tired. I mean, just extremely fatigued and fatigued all the time, regardless of how much sleep I got. And then also I experienced, not like I said, shedding, but also hair breakage. Like I started getting a lot of split ends, a lot of gaps in my hair. Even though I was doing protein treatments, even though I was doing deep conditioning my hair, it was like nothing I was doing was helping. So what now? I mean, I say all of this stuff and you're like, wow, oh my God, that's a lot. So what did you do? Did you fix the problem? Yes, I'm taking biotin. Yes, I'm taking iron. And yes, it has helped. It has mitigated some of the symptoms, but not all. And basically what I've been told is that it may never mitigate all, which is kind of depressing. And so I think, if you're in the same boat as me and you literally are doing everything right, you're taking care of your hair, you're not, overusing heat, you're not, using inappropriate hair tools, you're not, over manipulating your hair, tugging at it excessively, things of that nature. You're eating healthy, you're exercising, you're drinking water. Like me, if you're doing all of those things and you just can't seem to maintain healthy hair, you might have a vitamin deficiency. And not only that, you might have a lifelong struggle for hair growth and hair maintenance, which is kind of the boat that I'm in. I basically was told that this may not improve in the sense of me being able to grow super long hair, being able to grow to a certain length, being able to completely rid myself of all the symptoms. And that's been really hard to accept. I mean, I still think I'm going to try to do certain things to not just mask the symptoms, but hopefully to overcome them. I think I'm still going to attempt to try to, toy around and play with some hair growth aids and things like that to see if maybe it'll work. But at the same time, I think I've come to the point where I have to accept the fact that my hair cannot and may not ever be able to do all the things that I want it to do. I think you have to reach a point where you say, this is it, and I have to accept the fact that this might be it. So that doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing all the things I've been doing. I'm still going to eat healthy, I'm still going to exercise, I'm still going to drink water, I'm still going to take care of my hair to the best of my ability. But it does mean I have to accept the limitations of my hair. So if you're in the same boat as me, I just want to encourage you, hey, it's tough, it's hard, especially when other people are saying, oh, you should do this, you should do that. And you're like, yeah, I've tried that, I've tried that, I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried everything I understand, and nothing's working. For people who don't have as many hair issues or hair challenges to deal with, for them the solution is simple, but for people like us who have a lot of different hair type characteristics that are harder or more challenging to deal with, it makes the journey a lot rougher. It makes the road harder to climb and the mountain harder to climb. I think I'm kind of at a point where it is what it is. It's hard to accept, but I'm slowly trying to get to the point where I am accepting it, because for the longest time, it took me forever to get from shoulder length to armpit length, and then for 2 years straight, once my hair reached armpit length, it just kept breaking. I would do everything I could, wear particular styles, kept breaking. Would tie my hair up at night, kept breaking. I was like, okay, maybe I'm not moisturizing it, moisturize it, kept breaking. If you genuinely are like me and you're eating healthy and doing all these things, and you're literally doing everything you're supposed to do and it's still not working, you just may be genetically predisposed to certain types of hair characteristics, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. There are some things you can do about your internal health, you know, like taking vitamins, which I'm doing, continuing to maintain my exercise regimen, which I'm doing, continuing to maintain a healthy hair care regimen, which I'm doing. But at the same time, you have to come to a place of acceptance where you say, I'm doing all those things and I'm willing to continue to do all those things, but it still may not be enough because my hair is what it is. So don't be discouraged. If you're like me, you're like, my hair is just not cooperating, it never has cooperated, and it doesn't seem to ever want to. It's okay, it may not ever be all that you want it to be, but that doesn't mean that it's any lesser. You know what I mean? It's just, you've got to just accept the fact that it is what it is, and that's kind of where I am now. So, I mean, moving forward, I'm still going to do product reviews, still do different things like that. Just maybe from a different perspective, maybe just from the point of, hey, I like this is what I don't like, this is how my hair is responding, this is how your hair might respond, which is what I've always done in the past, especially on my blog. But it's probably going to be less about, trying to maintain and trying to obtain these luxurious locks, and just accept the fact that this is how my hair is responding, and this may or may not be how your hair responds. So again, I hope this is encouraging. I know it probably didn't start out that way, but hopefully it's encouraging in the sense of you're not alone, and you're not the only one going through this. So I just hope that the issues that I've been dealing with for an extended period of time speak to other people out there, and hopefully you can attempt to come to a place of acceptance like I have. So I just wanted to kind of do this hair talk about all the different things I've been dealing with, and again, I hope that it struck a chord with some of you out there. Talk to you later. Bye.